If you watched last week's video, we did our very first cook in our brand new fifth wheel kitchen, the 394 RK by Van Lee, the Villano model. Well, today it's nice enough that we're actually cooking outside in our outdoor kitchen space. And we're having some friends over as part of our going away goodbye Denver adventure. So today we're going to do something easy that serves a lot of people. And it's a low country boil, or as my family it's always been known as, Frogmore stew. So a low country boil is really simple. It's 4 ingredients plus some seasoning for your water. We've got smoked sausage. I like to use smoked Polish kielbasa, shrimp, mini potatoes, ears of corn, and then to flavor our water, we've got onions, garlic, shrimp boil, and chicken stock. Our water's starting to heat up. Let's get our flavoring components into our water. I've got my turkey fryer set here. It's filled about halfway with water. I'm going to take 1 full quart of chicken stock and get that into the water. Next, I've got my crab boil. Now you can use the McCormick crab boil that's already in a pouch. We happen to have one left over from a lobster boil, so I'm just going to use that. Or you could put a 1/4 cup of Old Bay seasoning in here as well. I've got about 5 cloves of whole peeled garlic, and then I've got 1 onion quartered, and that's going to go right in. We're going to put our lid on and bring this to a boil, and then we'll be ready to add our first ingredient. All right, let's check our water. We are just about at a boil, so the first thing we want to put in our low country boil is the thing that's going to cook the longest, and that's the potatoes. Now you have 2 options here. I like to use a mini potato because I think a whole potato makes for a much nicer presentation, or you could use a regular russet or a Yukon Gold and quarter them or slice them up if you want to. But right now I'm going to go right from the bag right into the water. I've got about 2 1.5 pound packages here, so about 3 pounds of potatoes. And one of the great things about a low country boil is that you can design it to how many people you need to feed. So the recipe is going to be in the link in the description down below. Our recipe will feed 6 really hungry people, but really probably around a party of 8. So we'll go 1 bag. Helps if it's open enough. 1 bag right in the boiling water. And then our second bag, and I'm pouring this away from me so I don't splash hot water directly up on myself. We're going to get the lid on, and then basically we're going to cook these for about 5 minutes, or basically just enough time to bring our pot of water back up to a boil. And then we'll go in with our next ingredient, which is going to be the smoked Polish kielbasa. All right, it's been a little bit over 5 minutes. Our potatoes have come back up to a boil. Our friends are starting to arrive off camera. So of course, what better thing to go with a low country boil than an ice cold beer? And what better thing to do than cook and have a beer at the same time? I've got 3 pieces here. Each one of them is about 12 ounces. What I want to do is get these cut down into individual bite-sized pieces. They're kind of nice, call it 1.5 inch or so chunks. So I'm just going to go ahead and take my knife, cut them on a little bit of an angle. All right, there we go. Get our smoked sausage into the pot, get the lid back on, and now we're gonna let this go for about 10 to 15 minutes or until this pot is back up to a rolling boil. So with every ingredient and every step we do, we want the pot to come back up to a boil. So again, 10 to 15 minutes, depending on how high that flame is, and then we're ready for the corn. I've got 6 ears of corn here that I've shucked and peeled, and now I'm just going to cut them down into bite-sized pieces. So basically, these are fairly small early season corn, so I'm just going to cut them right in half.
There we go.
Lid off, corn in, dropping in away from you so you don't get hot boiling water on you. All right. All in, lid back on. We're going to let this go for about 10 minutes or once again until your water is fully boiling, and then it'll be ready for the last step. All right, let's get this lid off, and you can see we've got a really, really nice rolling boil going. You can see the sausage and the corn and the onions all turning over. It's time for the very last step, and that's the shrimp. We've got about 3 pounds of shrimp here. These have the shell on, and I personally think the shell on shrimp makes for a way more fun eating experience. You can put shrimp already shelled in the water, but you know, you want to get your hands messy and get dirty and get in there when you're doing a low country boil. So we're leaving the shells on and we're going right into the water. These are gonna cook for about 3 minutes. As soon as they turn pink, your low country boil is done. You do not want to overcook your shrimp. So 3 minutes or until they turn solidly pink, and we're ready to roll. Okay, so you can see we've got some shrimp floating up at the top. It's been about 3 minutes. I'm just gonna grab one out of here. And like I said, they look pink, but if you look here, they still look a little opaque. I'm gonna let these go just a couple more minutes longer because I want that actually really solidly pink. If I just grab another one here, you can see they still just do look a little opaque. So we're gonna let this go for 2 more minutes and then we'll be ready to eat. All right, it's been 5 minutes total for that shrimp, and I checked it, it's more than done. So now we're gonna go ahead and get our boil out of the boiling pot of water. I am gonna put it in this pan to drain the excess water off of it, turn my fire off, and the valve off on the propane tank. All right, we've given our food a chance for the excess water to kind of drain off. And I think the best way to feed a big group of people is just dump it right on the table. There we go. I don't think we lost anything. And what you want to do now is grab your crab oil packet and discard that. We don't need that anymore. And the only things left to do is to hit the whole entire thing with some lemon. So I've got the juice of 1 whole lemon here. And then I would call this optional as well, but I like to take some Old Bay seasoning and go right over the top of the whole thing. And make sure you get a little bit on everything. And there you go, guys, a whole meal right on a table ready to go. Now, the best way to serve this is we typically offer 3 different dipping sauces. We do cocktail sauce, we do tartar sauce, and then we just do a melted butter. So you have a sauce to go essentially with everything. And we'll put links to all of those in the description down below. Well, thanks so much for watching. We're gonna dig in and get going. You can find all of our recipes, this and all of our others, at gfexplorers.com. Be sure and give this recipe a like and a thumbs up. And until next time, happy eating.